And on top of that, every time you open your mouth, she fucking feels it. In her heart and in her puss. Hey, what's up? It's me, Jessica Jane. I was just wondering if you've ever sat and thought to yourself, Jessica, how can I avoid being ignored if I am an introvert like you? Well, if so, I'm glad you asked, because as an introvert, you've probably heard your whole life that, why don't you talk more? Like, shut the fuck up. Why don't y'all talk less? And at the same time, you're probably watching this video because not talking more has not gotten you women. Does that even make sense? Anyway, to make sure you never miss out on another opportunity to hear how you could hook us women in without having to change who you are, or another one of my videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button with the notification bell. Okay, so like I mentioned already, most introverts aren't necessarily good with women because y'all aren't that talkative. And what can I say? We women, we love communication. But you also think you're not good with women because you're not talking more. But talking more is not what's gonna get you women. Being an introvert simply means social interactions take from your energy supply, whereas introverts are energized by social interactions. Me and my cousin, I'm an introvert, she's an extrovert, but we both act the same when we're together, except when we get home, I'm passing the fuck out alone by myself. I don't even want her anywhere near me, but she gets on her phone and she FaceTimes basically everybody who will answer for hours after we've been out for hours, because socializing for me has now drained me and depleted me, but with her, it's got her amped up to keep going and keep going and keep going, and I don't know how they fucking do it, I swear to God. I digress. All that means is you just have to make better use of the energy you have by not engaging in anything that is going to further drain you than you already get drained from your interaction. And I'm not talking about the sexual draining. Because if we think about it this way, if all social interactions train introverts to some degree, wouldn't it be safe to say that forcing yourself to engage in conversation that you're not normally having would drain you even more and even faster and be really fucking draining? Yeah. So instead of doing the thing that everybody else is telling you to do, like you should fucking talk more and you should get out more, which is wrong. What you need to be doing is engaging yourself in conversations that you're interested in. Conversations that don't feel like an effort to you, that don't feel like work to you. Because if a conversation feels like effort and feels like work to an introvert, we're gonna get exhausted real quick. And I always say our feelings, our energy is very contagious. So if you're sitting there feeling like, oh fuck, I gotta power through this, I hate this, when you're talking to a woman, how do you think she's gonna feel? Exactly, she's gonna be like, oh my God, what am I doing here? This is difficult. Kill me. And that in turn will signal to your brain that you shouldn't even try, because look, every time you try, it fucking hurts, it's exhausting, and she looks like she's in pain. Let's not do this to people. Sorry, I digress. So the point is to get you excited to be in that conversation, get you interested in that conversation. A lot of people think that the way to get a woman super engaged and super into you if you're an introvert, this is mistake number one with a lot of introverts, is to get her talking even more. Okay, let me ask a really great question, like what her passions are, and then she could talk the entire time. Great. But as an introvert myself, I bet you already know nothing is more exhausting than having to talk to a person who wants to talk the entire time at you while you just sit there and take it. All right, I digressed a lot, but I really wanted to explain the mechanics behind why you are the way you are and why it's fucking okay. Sorry, I hate screaming, but I'm very passionate about the fact that introverts, y'all don't have to be extroverts to get women. What you have to do is you have to make sure every time you open your fucking mouth, you want to be opening your fucking mouth. And on top of that, every time you open your mouth, she fucking feels it. In her heart and in her puss. So how do we do that? That's what I talk about all the time on this channel, is getting you guys to work smarter, not harder when it comes to your conversations with women. So tackling my first point, getting you interested in the conversation, what do I normally say is the number one thing we're all interested in? It's ourselves. Yes! No, it's not sex, you pervs. It's ourselves. We have a vested interest in ourselves first and foremost. Even super depressed people, even self-loathing people will sit there and isolate because that's what feels good for them in their self-loathing and hatred. So if the number one thing you're interested in is yourself, the best thing you could do is to speak from personal experience at all times. Anytime you open your mouth, it's not going to be like, hi, how are you? That doesn't mean shit. Or even, so what do you like to do for fun? Fuck out of here, you don't care. But if you speak from your personal experience where you're saying some shit, like I'm sitting here wondering why the fuck I turned off the AC, and if they could see my armpits sweating right now. Anytime you talk like that, people will be able to inadvertently and inherently connect with you no matter what. And if we can connect with you, meaning if we can relate to you, we can see ourselves as you. And if we see ourselves as you, or better, if we see you as us, we then become interested in you. And therein lies the first feeling you will get women to feel for you. Does that make sense? I don't even have to guess. I know for a fact that as I sat here and told you that I'm wondering if you could see me sweating from my armpit, you had some things to say in yourself automatically without me even asking you. That's what happens when you speak from personal experience with women. You cause this knee-jerk response in us that forces us to relate to you, that forces us to connect without you even trying. And this is how introverts don't get ignored. Is every time you do fucking open your mouth, you create that first feeling inside any woman. And any woman that feels something for you cannot ignore you. So, one thing I want to say about this is I'm going to explain this in so much more further detail next week. If you want to jump on to my live stream this Saturday, I'm going to explain the 5-day challenge I'm about to do, where for 5 days starting Sunday, I'm going to do a full-on training, not a full-on like my master classes, but like a full half-hour live stream on specific topics geared towards where you are in your interactions with women when moving things forward. So I'm going to explain the entire thing on Saturday. If you want to jump on my live stream, hang out with me for this weekend, because what I really want to do, it's really important for me to help you guys really hammer this home and to have more space and more time to delve into every single one of these topics so that you guys don't have to do the guesswork anymore or try to go down these YouTube wormholes. It's going to be a step-by-step thing. I'm going to explain the whole thing more and better on Saturday. So by now you should be able to see like the live stream scheduled and shit if you want to like hit that notify button. Because yeah, I started this work as an introvert myself. I'm still a self-proclaimed introvert, but this is what I fucking do on every single video. And every time I leave my house, in fact, I have to shut it off when I don't want to connect with people, is speak from personal experience and create those inherent connections, those automatic knee-jerk responses in people to get people hooked. That's how you're here watching me right now. You're hooked. Don't deny it. So again, Saturday, me and you, I'm going to explain the entire 5-day challenge that we're doing next week. I hope to see you there. And either way, introverts, don't ever get ignored again with this shit. And thanks for watching as always, guys. We'll see you next time.